Hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
And I'm Emily the Other Knitter, and this is the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast.
Thank you for joining us for episode 154 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn, a knitting and crocheting podcast brought to you by me, Vivian, and my daughters. I'm recording from Michigan.
And I'm recording from Florida. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're listening on a podcast app or watching us on YouTube. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody. Allison last time said that we need to enunciate yarn because a lot of times it sounds like carry on, but we're
carry yarn
and carry yarn. So, have you been, baby?
I'm very good, actually. It's
almost summer.
Yes, it's like a weird week at work, so it's kind of going by faster and kind of sort of playing cookie right now. Not really. Half day, early day. And yes, we only have like 2 more tomorrow and then 2 more weeks of school, and then we are off for the summer.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever mentioned that you teach at your local public school. You teach high school.
Yeah.
You teach at the high school.
I'm teaching at the high school. Yes. Yeah. And it's been an interesting year.
You ready to just move into our whips?
Sure, let's jump right in. I only have one whip, and it's my archive Cal.
Okay, you
project.
Go because I need to do something while you talk. So you talk.
Okay. So the archive Cal being our knit and crochet along, where we are picking up projects that have been in your queue or on the back burner for a long period of time. And mine is
patterns. Picking patterns.
Yes. So mine is the Anthro-Inspired Scarflet. If you remember, I had just last time we recorded, I think I had just had like a little triangle. And I don't know what you would call, like, would you just call it a scarflet, or if there's like a name for this type of scarf that like kind of looks like a little ascot when it's put together?
It's kind of like a kerchief or a scarflet, kerchief.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that.
Well, so I'm getting very close to finishing, but it's a small project. But I have and one leaf done.
Of course, it's rust colored.
Yeah. Hey, well, this is stash yarn, so it's from an old project. If that helps, I don't know. So I have one leaf done, and then there's the little ribbing here, which is like a little pocket. So you shove the other end through the little hole, so it crosses at the front, like that. And then
so it looks kind of like a little bow.
Yeah,
it's crossed.
Yeah, like a tie. Like if you had a scarf that you tied at the neck, like a little bandana or something. And then I have the neck done, and then I've started the little bit that's gonna end up like in the hole, and then I'll have just like the other leaf to do. So yeah,
nice.
I'm hoping that because the pattern that I'm using called for, I don't remember what, but like a heavier weight yarn. I just don't really have. I wanted to use stash yarn. I didn't want to buy anything for this because it's such a small project, and like I just couldn't decide on what yarn to use, and so I ended up using. It's a sport weight. I think I said last time it's fingering, but it's sport. So I'm hoping that because that like it's still gonna look good, like it'll block flatter, and then it'll still look okay. Like maybe it won't have as much like structure to keep like that
because it's a lighter weight.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see after I block it. Hopefully it looks okay. But I suppose it's a quick project, so if I had to redo it, it's not it's not the end of the world either. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know, not ton to say about it. What do you have going on?
But you have a...
Huh?
You say you have another whip, so...
No, I did. I said I have one.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I added another one.
Well, actually, I
okay.
do have a sewing project that I started, which is a pair of Regency stays, or like, you know, like a corset type of thing, which I cut out the pieces. I don't really have anything to show, but I can show you the pattern. It's from Red Threaded, and it's short stay, so it kind of just looks like a bra, to be honest. And
or a halter, or a tank top.
Oh yeah, like a crop top, really crop top. It kind of just looks like, it's almost like a balconette bra is what it ends up looking like, and at least in, like, you know,
what kind of bra
compared to modern, a balconette bra.
I don't even know. Can you spell that? What does that even mean?
Balconette, like balcony, but with ETTE instead of a Y. It's just a style of bra.
Okay.
Which it's like
I thought you said falconet.
No,
like the falcon. Falcon.
I don't think I'm mumbling that much. I think I'm enunciating enough.
No. I think it's just the
Connection.
sound in my ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so I'm hoping, or I don't have any events or anything to go to, but I've done a couple of period, historical dresses, and so I wanted to venture into Regency because, you know, I love Austen
underwear.
So well, you know, it's underpinning, so you have the foundation, so then I can, after I make that, then I can, you know, it's better to build from the inside out, so you have the structure. So I mean, it's the same with like sewing now. It's like, if you know what kind of undergarments you're gonna wear under a dress, especially if it's supposed to be really fitted, it's better to wear it when you do fittings,
when you're trying it on.
Yeah, so that you know what it's gonna look like.
See my cat.
Yes. Cat cameo.
This is a cat cameo. Oh, I'm just bumping into my microphone. Hopefully she's not making too much noise. So she needs to get down. Hey, before you knock everything over, get down. Do I have a plastic bag?
Troublemaker.
Get down.
If you close the door, will she just like scratch at it?
She'll just scratch at it and make even more noise.
It's very noticeable that you're like distracted. Like, you almost sound annoyed.
No, I'm not. Sorry. My Yell by Marie Wallin archive cow project. I actually almost finished it, and I might have finished it if I didn't rip out the binding. So I finished the sleeves. I used a I-core bind off for the sleeves. And I was thinking, I'll just do an I-core bind off for the button band too, but it just wasn't working right because I think it's just the nature of, you know, it was curling, and because this is in the round, so like the ends of the sleeves being being a circle, it prevents it from curling too much, curling it inside out. So I was like, had about half of the button band stitches in an I-cord bind off, and it just wasn't looking good. So anyway, so I took it off, and when you were talking, I was putting the needle back into the live stitches. So so the button band is mostly done. I just need to do some sort of finishing. I'm probably going to do like a
nice
like a 1x1, what is it, ribbing, like I did to the bottom. The original pattern has you do a seed stitch hem on the bottom of the sweater and also at the end of the button band, but it was curling too much. I didn't like it.
I didn't realize, or maybe I just didn't remember that that you have the like you have more color work around
around the neck.
The neck and the.
So I actually took a video
front.
of myself sticking it. So I'll post that somewhere. Can you please get down, baby?
She's insistent. So the button is the stripe of color work that goes around the neck is that the actual button band, and then you just have to do an edge or
yeah.
Okay.
And then you have to do it like a finishing edge on it, and then the finishing edge is actually like a very narrow seed stitch edge.
I see.
And I feel like if it's gonna curl just like the bottom did, because I think it's just as narrow, if not narrower, than what the bottom edge was.
Does the pattern leave it open, or does it have buttons like in the
It's an open cardigan, but there's a button band.
I see.
No
okay.
So in the picture there's like somebody, she's wearing like a shawl pin.
And you're planning on keeping it open as well?
Yeah, I'll have like a shawl pin or something, or one of those kilt pins or something.
It looks so nice.
So it is because of the construction, that weird neck where there's no neck hole.
Yeah,
it was just like a T.
Right.
So you have, and so once you cut it open, I did add a few more stitches in the back. More I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah.
Just because in the original pattern, it has you pick up, along the front edge, both, the front edge, and then you pick up one stitch in the back, and then you pick up the rest of the stitches on the other front edge. So going up the left, and then one stitch, and coming back on the opposite. Going up the right, and then coming back down the left. I see. So, yeah, so that's what that looks like.
Cool. I made the second garment I ever made, I think, was that
the horseless one?
No, that was not the second garment I ever made. Oh my gosh. No, it was an open cardigan that had a similar construction, and I'm pretty sure I think I might have talked about it when I was a guest the first time, possibly.
The one that looks like it's woven.
No.
Like a basket weave?
No, that was pretty recent. I made that like last year.
I don't remember.
No, this was like...
Oh, was it last year?
This was like 2020 maybe.
Okay, I don't remember then.
Anyway.
Okay, what color was it?
Brown. It was like a chocolate brown, short sleeve, open cardigan, and literally the name of the pattern I think was just open cardigan.
Oh. I think it
might have been a Vogue knitting pattern. I don't remember, but I don't have it anymore. I sold it on Depop because I just didn't really like the way that it came out. Like, it just didn't sit right. I don't know that it was anything that I did wrong. I think it was just like kind of. I think it may have had to do with the yarn choice, because I picked the yarn that I used. I don't know if it was a blend, but it was bamboo, and it was very drapey. I think it just was not meant to be so drapey. But yeah, there's like one long strip that you knit, and it goes like around like the back of the neck and down the front, and it's very similar in that way, except for instead of like a skinny little button band going around the neck, it was much wider, and I don't know, it was similar, not this, not quite the same construction, but like just kind of a similar concept, and it just didn't sit right. But I think the yellow cardigan, I think, like, I mean, the construction is just better, but I think also like it's just like it looks like it has more structure, Yeah.
Well, and it's also the yarn too.
Right. I mean, because of the yarn, and then also the construction.
Yeah. So you can see my my jacquard ladder backing back here, like those vertical lines.
so much work.
I don't know why there's so many notifications. And you can see, like, I didn't do it in the bottom part right here where there's floats. So when I pull on it, you can stretch it. You can definitely feel the difference. Like, it's so much stretchier where I did the.
And that was just because you just changed your mind as you went, or?
Yeah, that was well, actually I had like a couple of them like random, and I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. So I decided to just do the whole way up. So yeah, I am very pleased with it because it is a beautiful pattern.
It looks great.
There are things there. I mean, I think the sleeves are a bit long because it's drop shoulder, and you know, and you couldn't really try it on because there was no hole.
Right.
I suppose if I steeked it and did the button band first and then did the sleeves, I would have been able to try it on.
Right.
So maybe if somebody's thinking about doing that, do the button band first.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. So I know there's a lot of color work sweaters in my queue, and I'll have to look at them and make sure that they are not as that there's more color changes, because the two color part,
right, you were getting bored.
It drove me crazy, and I was getting bored, and the ladder back, jacquard ladder back, was also making things difficult for me. So I have to, one, make sure there's enough changes, so that keeps me interested, and number two, that there's not like really long floats that I have to worry about. I think one of the sweaters I was just looking at that has like long floats, and I don't know if I already bought the pattern. I don't know if I'm actually.
Well, just take a break. I'm
not casting any big color work
for a while,
for a long time. I still have to finish the edge on this one, and then when I did the crochet foundation thingy before I actually cut the steek, I don't know, maybe I didn't catch all the yarn, because there's a couple places where you can see like the little short cut yarn is like peeking through, and so I had to reinforce it with extra yarn. So that's why I have these long bits here and there, just for me reinforcing some of those loose stitches.
Well, I was just listening to the last episode on my commute this morning, and you were saying that you're not gonna finish it in time.
I know, because I was still on the two color.
Right, so you must have been on a roll, because you're almost done.
So I was just, because I was determined to get to the color part. Because once I got to the color bands, it went so fast. Not just because every 6 rows you're decreasing 2 stitches, but because it's just more interesting. I didn't have to worry about the ladder backs anymore, and I just whizzed through it. I did, however, did the binding off like a couple different ways, and I finally decided on the
is it partially also because you're home alone right now?
That has something to do with it. Yeah, I'm home alone. I've been home alone for actually only since Monday.
Okay, still it's Thursday.
The previous week I was home alone like for most of the week, and then your dad came home for the weekend. And so this week I'm actually home alone for the whole week, and then the weekend, and then they come home the following week. But we're recording this little sort of early, but I'm gonna wait a bit to put it out, because Allison literally just posted the previous episode like 2 days ago.
Oh well.
So that was another reason why I wanted to get as much done, because I wanted something to talk about. Otherwise, like, I just recorded it, I don't have anything to talk about. So I was just being a good podcaster and
Right.
Something
That's
interesting
why
about
you
that.
had to do so much today just because of the podcast.
So, I mean, the podcast does actually encourage me to knit all the time, so I have something to talk about.
Motivates you.
And, yeah, it does. It definitely does. So next time, hopefully, I'll have the button band edges done and also blocked. And I'm so happy with this. So because I worked on my sweater almost exclusively, except for when I was sitting in the car with your dad, because I have a sock that lives in my car. So whenever we go out, I just take the sock out. And if we drive his car, I have to go, wait, let me pull the sock out of my car. So I sit in his car. And he's like, we're just going to Home Depot. I was like, so?
Valuable knitting time.
Yeah, otherwise I'm just sitting there watching the traffic go by. So I think I only did maybe one or two rounds of this. So it pretty much looks the same as it did last time. But I'm still happy with this.
Nice.
So maybe I'll have 2 FOs next time. Probably, because this will go by fast. And then I'll have to start another. Because this one, we decided this one is going to be Allison's because it's got that eggplanty purple.
It looks very color. Vibrant right now. Like, I feel like maybe it's just the lighting at this moment.
This is, I mean, it's definitely an eggplant. Maybe it is
it's pretty.
The screen. But this is the Aal Ower Toorie by the Shetland, was it? The Shetland Guild of Spinners, Knitters, Weavers, and Dyers. I don't know if I got them all in order.
That looks great.
Excuse me. So yeah, my 2 whips are color work.
Yeah, not just color work, like major color work, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I do get into these, like, I guess, trends. Or not trends, just, like, moods where I just, like, that's all I want to do is color work.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. All right, you ready to do our Buzzfeed?
Sure.
Oh, I gotta open it back up. Let's see.
Okay, the title is... Take this quiz to find out which flower reflects your true self. Flower reflects... That was hard to say. To find out which flower reflects your true self. There we go. Enunciating.
And then on the bottom it says, the seeds were sown into your soul long ago, and you've finally grown enough to learn your inner flower.
Oh, have I?
Why does it erase it? Oops. It erased it, but I did...
I do think that this...
I did take a screenshot.
Oh. The subheading, it does, like it sounds like it's how much you've grown, like sounds like a quiz for, like, a younger person, and the questions definitely lean that way as well.
I think there are not a lot of middle-aged people taking these quizzes.
True. I don't know.
Our podcast.
I don't know. I think there's, like, a lot of bored retirees that do some interesting things on the internet throughout their day.
I suppose.
Anyways,
so
what did you get? Oh, I got Forget Me Not. You're calm and collected most of the time, but you can be silly around the right crowd. You have a certain charisma and charm that leaves people thinking about you. You might not be the most colorful or a large flower. That's true. But that's because you like to stay true to yourself. Unforgettable, you linger in everyone's hearts.
Guess what? I got the same thing. We haven't... I haven't gotten the same thing with either of you or Allison, in a long time, I think. But I think... that's definitely true that we can be silly around the right crowd. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like
I do like it. You might not be the most colorful or large. No, we're not the most large.
I am the least large.
People. At least when it comes to height, anyway.
Yes, I mean.
Okay, let's go through the questions.
How are you today?
First, I just said good.
Actually, the first time I took this quiz, I said good, but this time I said fantastic because I'm just having a really good day.
I had a hard time with the second question, which is, what's your favorite type of cuisine?
Yeah, same.
Chinese, Mexican, Japanese, Italian, American, Middle Eastern. I like all of that. I like all of that. All of these cuisines.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if I were to pick an Asian food that I like most, it would be Thai food. And that was not on there. Or Indian. And that was not on there. So those are probably my favorite when it comes to
So what did you pick?
I picked Mexican.
Oh, I picked Chinese because we probably eat Chinese food the most.
Yeah,
because we are Chinese after all.
Yeah, I know. I'm a disgrace because I didn't pick it. What's your job? You don't have one. But
I don't technically have a job, but I picked other. So the answers were, I don't have one. A little here, a little there, mainly gigs and freelance. Customer service, social media, teacher of medicine or caregiver, entrepreneur, or other. And I said other because I am a podcaster. And I make my bags. Right?
Okay, well, you make... I would say the shop.
I am the social secretary for this family.
Sure. I mean, as far as what makes you money, it primarily would be the shop, right? So you could say maybe not technically, but you could say an entrepreneur. I don't like the word entrepreneur. I don't know.
So I don't like the what about your go-to hobby?
Oh yeah, me
because
neither. Okay. Reading, traveling, making art, self-care, sports, shopping, working. I hate that self-care is counts as a hobby.
Is a hobby? That should just be. How is that a hobby?
Well, self-care is like a very vague thing, right? Self-care could be almost anything, but like people equate self-care with like going to a spa or, getting a massage or taking a bath. I don't know. It's just like, yeah.
So, did we read all of them? Reading, traveling, making art, self-care, sports, shopping, and working. Who says working as their go-to hobby?
If that's your hobby, you need a life.
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah, I feel like they could have put... I guess there was sports, but they could have done something more like outdoorsy, and then like
woodworking.
Yeah.
I said making art because
same. It's the closest to knitting and sewing.
Yeah.
And I thought about
Allison
reading.
Could say traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would have been my next.
Yeah, but if I say the hobby that I do the most, is probably knitting.
Because it's portable.
Yeah. And, well, you got a lot of knitting done recently because the house has been empty. I've got a lot of knitting done recently because we've been doing testing at school. So I can just knit and watch like what they're doing at the same time. I can't read and proctor a test at the same time. But I can knit. Anyway.
What's your favorite color?
What is my favorite color, Mother?
Is it still green?
Yes, and yours is blue.
I don't know. It could have been rust, which is orange.
I do wear a lot of rust, but I wear a lot of green, too. I'm wearing green right now. Green used to be my favorite color, and then I went away from it, but then I came back to green. But I think the green that I like is, like, I like sage green, I like a forest or an olive green or like an emerald green, but not a huge fan of like Kelly green or lime green, which is what I used to
I love
like
when
I was a kid.
Okay. Final question. Lastly, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Working, creating, rich, traveling, helping people, having my own home. As long as I'm happy, I don't care. Which, where you see yourself versus like, where do you want to be? I feel like that last option is like, doesn't really answer the question. But.
So what did you say? Rich?
I don't see myself rich in 5 years. If this were a fantasy, like, sure, I would love to be rich enough to not have to work. I said creating.
I said traveling. All right.
Oh no, I think there's a bit of work going on outside. Hopefully it's not being picked up by the mic.
Oh, I can't hear it.
Okay, it stopped.
There hasn't been sushi scratching at the door, so fingers crossed. All right, let's move right on to our FOs. Because I have no FOs.
Well, I have 3, so you're lucky because I can cover for you.
You have 3.
Let me start with sewing. So last time I talked about how I was just patterning out for a pair of shorts, and I finished them. And I've worn them a few times, so they're a little wrinkly right now. But I love them so much. So they're like little like sailory shorts with an apron front. And so the shorts that I had copied the pattern for, it has a side zip. And I wasn't sure actually when I started copying the pattern whether or not I wanted to do a side zip. And I decided to try and make it a true apron front instead. So it does. I have 4 buttons in the front, but only the top 2 are functional. So it opens up, and then on the inside, there's a little skirt hook so I can make the waistband nice and secure. And the inside, the pocket lining is the shirting fabric that I used for Quentin's first birthday outfit, his little sailor outfit. So it's just a nice little memory, a little reminder on the inside. Okay. The buttonholes, I ended up doing them by hand because I know I told you, I don't know if you remember, but the machine, doing the buttonholes, like half the time, the stitches on the right side end up like 50% wider than they're supposed to be, or than the left side. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know how this has happened. But I didn't do a test buttonhole because I didn't. I also didn't do a mock-up for this, so. That is your mock-up. Right. Well, I also knew, like, it's short. It's like, doesn't take up a lot of fabric, so I had more. I knew that I could probably make a second pair if I needed to. But anyways, I did do the buttonhole directly on here. And then I was like, oh no, like this looks terrible. And so I ended up picking it out. And luckily, I didn't mess it up at all. So it's fine. And, you don't really see it when it's buttoned up anyway. So you can't even tell. But these are now like one of my favorite. Like, I know I'm going to wear them all the time. So yeah, that's that. And then I have my Woodland Walk socks.
Oh, yay!
I finished a couple days ago. The second one hasn't been blocked yet, so it's a little
So that's the Woodland Walk socks by This Handmade Life.
So yeah, I don't know if there's much to say about it, but this is only my second pair of socks, which I started them a long time ago. But I put them down for a long time as well. But yeah, they're cotton, so I can still wear them here now, even though it's already like 90 degrees every day. It is disgusting. But my third FO is what I'm most excited about, which is my olive oil.
Oh, look at that.
I'm very happy with how it turned out. It was, doing the neckline was a little bit of a gamble, and I probably could have done it a little bit differently, but because I had, because I did a worsted weight yarn instead of bulky weight, I had to make some adjustments. But I ended up actually, like, I tried, like, mathing it out, figured it out, and, like, I don't know, my brain is just foggy, I guess, because baby or whatever, but I ended up, the neckline, it's almost the same as the pattern calls for. So it is a little bit wider. It's, like, less of a real V-neck. But that's okay. And then I also changed, or I did a little I-cord little ties at the end that I think I try to make them the same width as the stripe that goes on the collar, so it kind of looks like it's attached. And I ended up just, I thought about doing a bow, but I just did them I just made them long enough to tie in a knot, because I thought the collar ended up a little bit more rounded than I would have liked, or like the pattern looks like, which again is probably because of the yarn, not because of the pattern. So I thought a bow would look a little too twee. It's already pretty twee. I thought that was a little too much.
Well, this is the Oyl Jumper by Helene Arnesen, or Fabled Knitwear.
Thank you. Sorry, I just got too
great
excited
job.
and I just jumped into it.
It's okay.
And then the other change I made was just something extra, is I did a little prick stitch around the edge of the collar so that it stays a little bit more flat, so you can see, like, especially the back, that edge is is a lot cleaner and sharper than it would have been if I had just left it, I think, even with a good steam, because I did iron it and it still was a little too rolled looking, and it wasn't, I don't think it was gonna stay put, so I think that really helped.
Yeah. So in sewing, that would be like the stay stitching, correct?
No, so it's not a stay stitch because it goes through both layers. It's like a top stitch, but it's a prick stitch, so meaning the stitch is long on the inside and very, very small on the top, so you can't see it. So I just went through the ladders, so it just went over one, so you don't really see it. I mean, if you opened it and you pulled the stitches open, you might be able to see it, but it's pretty much invisible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. It's a little bit wide. I think I could have made it a little bit narrower in the waist, but when I was knitting it, before it was blocked and everything, the ribbing, it looked so ridiculously tiny. And at my knitting group, everyone's like, "Is that gonna fit you?" That's where they'd be like, "Are you knitting something for Quentin?" I'm like, "No, it's for me." I'm it's gonna stretch, I swear. But other than that, I think it looks good, and I'm very happy with it.
Well done. It looks great. And you actually wore it. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yes, but only inside, because the air conditioning at work is always blasting and I'm always cold inside. But then as soon as you walk outside, it's it's very hot. So I wore a tank top and then I put it on when I got there. And my coworker did notice. She was like, "Is that the sweater that you've been working on?" I'm like, "Yes, it is. Thanks for noticing." And she seemed very impressed. And I was saying to you that I think, especially at school, because, there's the kids will comment on it, whatever, when they see what I'm actually knitting, once you can, see, once it's done enough that you can it's starting to take shape, they always surprised that, oh, it's kind of cute. Yeah, it's not just a granny sweater or something.
So yeah, that was the whole homemade versus handmade,
right? Yes.
Thing. Yeah. Well, that's exciting. You'll be able to wear it when you're here.
Did we talk about that on the podcast yet?
We did it. I figured I would segue it in.
You're so sneaky. So yes, we as in me, my husband and my son and I are moving to Michigan this summer.
Yay.
So we will actually be in the same house for a while.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And you are very excited.
Uh-huh. I have 24/7 baby access.
No,
he's not a baby anymore.
Yeah, because that's all that matters. The grandson. Forget about me.
Yeah, you're chopped liver.
No, but I'm very excited. I mean, a little sad, like a little bit bittersweet, but also I'm like, I can't wait to get away from this heat.
Oh yeah.
And other things
it's
here.
Really oppressive.
Yeah.
I don't like. Your winters are nice.
Yeah, that's the only nice time. Is like for like 2, maybe 3 months. It's like, oh, it's pleasant, and then it just gets. I mean, March actually this year was not too bad. Like we had some nice days. We had some really hot days. But then starting like last month, it was like, ugh, like 80s, like mid 80s every day. And then like this month now, it's like high 80s to 90, low 90s every day. It is gross, and it's not sweater weather at all.
No, so this is why I moved up here. The whole room juggling, because Madeline is giving up her room upstairs. And she's moving down to the basement. I mean, it's a finished basement, and there's a bathroom there, so it's not like she's moving down to the dungeon.
It's a nice basement.
It'll be easier for you to be upstairs, and you have the whole upstairs to yourselves, the three of you guys, and until you guys get a place of your own, and then she'll move back into her room, and then I get to move back downstairs. So who knows how long this will be. I mean, I might end up just like staying here and say, okay, the guest room is now the basement.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't want to move all of your stuff back down again, because it's a lot of stuff and some very heavy stuff as well.
Yeah, it was not fun.
I mean, you'll have helping hands, but still. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to packing.
Well.
And figuring out what I need, what the baby needs. It'll be fun. That'll be a fun project. But at the same time, I'm like, I need to start. I was trying to figure out what I want to sew before I had to start packing everything up. I'm like, I have like decision paralysis. Like I can't decide what takes priority. Like what do I need to make now? And I'm like, I said I was gonna make something for my husband. I'm like, ugh, but I want to make stuff for me and for the baby. So I don't know. I think I have my next major sewing project. I don't know. I might actually do that now for a little bit before I have to go pick up Quentin.
Well, you've been down in Florida for 10 years now. You've been there since you graduated, so it's almost exactly 10 years. It's more than 10 years
it'll be
now.
Just under. Well, I moved here in August of 2015, so it'll be just under 10 years when we leave, because we are moving in July, which I can't believe that it's been almost 10 years. Like
10 years.
It's crazy. That's like it's almost a third of my life.
Well, I'm
practically
glad to be here. Then I can spend less time traveling now.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. As much as I love visiting them, you know.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be so hot, and you don't want to go anywhere because you don't want to go outside. Oh yeah, I get it, and you won't feel like you have to like. You know, like when visiting, it's like I feel like I have to take advantage of every single second that I'm here because I'm not going to see you for like however much time after that, and so sometimes that can be exhausting.
So I can cut my travel not in half because I still have to go to New Jersey and Edinburgh and Boston. So yeah, a quarter of it, I guess.
Yeah, well, but maybe more than a quarter because I have the grandbabies, so.
I do have a very short shop talk.
Okay.
I don't have anything for yarn. I'm not quite done with it yet, but I just finished the outside of this Allison bag, which is
that is so cute.
Female scientists. I've used this fabric before. Because I was moving all my fabric upstairs, and I rediscovered this because it was kind of hidden between some other fabric. So, so I decided that because science is very important.
Yes. Well, when you brought that up for a second, like there's a strap covering one of the little people, and just like from my view, like I see the two pigtails and I thought it was a dog. That was a dog scientist.
It was a dog. Oh, a dog scientist. Yeah,
no, they're all girls or women. I mean, they're all more like they're supposed to be girls. Very cute.
So cute.
Love it.
And then the polka dot kind of matches the bubbling whatever.
Oh yeah.
Over here. Nice. So yeah, I'm probably make a couple more of those. And that is all I have for shop talk. Oh, and by the way, my shop is called Pearl and Plum, and it's on Etsy. So Pearl and Plum is the sponsor of this podcast, which we don't always mention. So
there you go.
Yeah. So you want to go and pick your baby up?
Well, first I'm going to do some sewing planning because it is still nap time right now. So can't wait till after nap time.
Okay, so here comes the spiel. The show notes for this episode and every episode can be found on our website, kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can find us on Instagram, also at kcacypodcast. My personal Instagram is upstate_viv, and Emily's is Emmerdale Crafts. If you want, you can join us on Ravelry. Just search for Keep Calm and Carry Yarn in the Groups tab. You can like, comment, rate, review, subscribe, and favorite on YouTube or wherever else you listen to podcasts. So, thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry yarn. Bye.
Bye.